If you want to become an educational psychologist, you'll almost certainly start here as an assistant educational psychologist. It's a supervised role, a training ground, and the practical experience you need before applying for the doctoral programme. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly what that role involves, what qualifications you need, and what you can expect to earn, and how to find your first AEP position. What is an assistant educational psychologist? An AEP works under the supervision of a qualified educational psychologist. You're not making independent clinical judgments, but you are doing meaningful hands-on work. Typical responsibilities include supporting cognitive and educational assessments, contributing to statutory advice for education, health and care plans, observing children in classroom settings, meeting with parents, teachers and SENCOs to gather information, and writing up assessment notes and contributing to reports. In some services, AEPs also deliver training to school staff or run group interventions. The role exists primarily in local authority educational psychology services, but you'll also find AEP positions in multi-academy trusts, independent schools and private psychology practices. It's a varied role, no 2 days look the same, and that variety is exactly what prepares you for your doctorate. What qualifications do you need to apply? To apply for AEP roles, you need a psychology degree that gives you the graduate basis for chartered membership within the BPS, the British Psychological Society. If your first degree wasn't in psychology, you can complete a conversion course, typically a 1-year postgraduate diploma or master's. Beyond the academic qualification, most AEP roles ask for relevant experience working with children or young people. School-based experience is particularly valued. Working as a teaching assistant, learning mentor or pastoral support worker all counts, as does experience in SEND settings, youth work or clinical support roles. The more direct contact you've had with children who have additional needs, the stronger your application. Some AEP posts also value research experience, so if you completed a psychology dissertation involving educational developmental topics, it's worth highlighting. Typical AEP salaries in 2025. Let's talk money. In local authorities, AEP salaries typically sit between £28,000 and £38,000 depending on the council, the pay spine they use and your experience level. London and the South East tend to offer higher salaries, while local authorities in the north of England, where Milk Education operates, typically range from £30,000 to £36,000 for experienced AEPs. Some councils also offer recruitment incentives or training bursaries, particularly where EP shortages are acute. If you work through an agency or in the private sector, pay structures differ. Day rates for AEPs typically range between £150 to £200, which can mean higher annual earnings, but without the pension contributions and job security of a permanent post. It's a trade-off worth considering. Local authority versus the private sector. Most AEPs work in local authority educational psychology services within the council's Children's Services Department. You'll be part of a structured team with regular supervision, CPD opportunities and clear progression pathways. Though the workload is often statutory heavy with lots of EHCP work, tribunal preparation and formal assessments. The private sector looks different. Private psychology practices typically focus on independent assessments where parents pay directly for cognitive assessments, diagnostic reports or tribunal evidence. The pace can be faster, the variety narrower, but the pay is often higher. Some AEPs combine both, working part-time in the local authority while taking on private work. There's no single right answer. It depends on what you want from the role and where you are in your journey. Finding AEP vacancies. AEP roles aren't as widely advertised as teaching positions, so you need to know where to look. Local authority careers pages are strong starting points. Every council has one, and you can search for assistant psychologist or trainee educational psychologists, or AEP. The Association of Educational Psychologists also publishes vacancies, and specialist recruiters like Milk Education work directly with local authorities and trusts to fill these roles. At Milk Education, we place AEPs across the north of England, including Liverpool, Manchester, Leeds, Sheffield and Newcastle and the surrounding areas. And we know the teams, the supervisors and what each service is looking for. If you're actively searching, registering with us means you'll often hear about roles before they hit public job boards. Your route to qualified EP. The AEP role is a stepping stone, with the end goal for most being the doctorate in educational psychology, a 3-year full-time programme that's funded, meaning you receive a bursary while you train. is highly competitive, with universities often receiving around 10 applications for every place. What makes a strong applicant? Relevant experience, and your AEP work is central to that. Every assessment you contribute to, every school meeting you attend, and every case you support builds your portfolio. Supervisor references also matter. Your EP supervisor will speak to your clinical skills, professionalism, and readiness for doctoral training. If you're serious about becoming an EP, the AEP role is where you prove yourself. At Milk Education, we've supported AEPs through this journey many times, placing candidates in their first role and seeing them progress into the doctorate and beyond. If you're ready to take that first step, head to milkeducation.co.uk. Browse our live AEP vacancies or register directly to speak with our team. We'd love to help you get started.